Welcome back everybody to another predictions video. No camera in this one because I've got a little bit of a cold. That's what you get for being in the north of England for too long. We are gonna load the filter that we've been testing. It is this BTTS or over 2.51, and we can see if we load it for Friday today, these are the games. I'm going to focus on Saturday and Sunday in this video, but you can see that there's a game there that's BTTS already from Israel. That's live at the moment. And we've got some games on Friday here. So, yeah, take a look at them. Feel free and pause or do whatever you need to do. I'll actually show you the probability model as well here so you can take a look at that. So, it looks like the highest rated game for BTTS is this Fleetwood game here. So, what I'll do actually is set an alert for that because the under 21s and stuff in England, there's actually markets available here. 1.53 with Betfair, that's interesting. So we will set an alert for this because on Bet365 it's not available yet. And this is the power of the alerts. You can just tell it to let you know when it hits 1.8. So even a market that is not even listed before the game. So 1.49 implied odds from the probability model. We're going to get an alert if it hits to 1.8 and then we will go in and investigate the game. So as I say, we'll move on to Saturday. That's going to be the focus, Saturday and Sunday. And we've got a game. You can see I've got an alert here already. This might be from the trends page or something. It is an under 19s game from Germany. And if we take a look at these two teams, it is third against second, 75% win rate, unbeaten on the road is the away team. And for Frankfurt, they come into this having failed to score in the last couple of games. But before that, there was a flurry of BTTS games. One thing I would mention, and one thing you should always look at, is the dates. Because it seems that this team has come back from the winter break and they have not found the form as of yet. They have come back to 2 defeats and they've failed to score in both of those games. For the away team, no such issue as of yet. They've actually played 1 game more since returning and they've remained unbeaten. They've not lost since October. And away from home, as we can see, they have scored in every single game. So I wouldn't bet against this team, that's for sure. If we look at the head-to-heads, BTTS not landing in the last couple of games. So under 19 is probably one for the alerts, as I say. We will take a look at Tamworth here. So National League North, Tamworth, top of the table. And what stands out to me straight away is that this is quite an even game, despite it being 10th against first. So looking at the home form against the away form, they've both won 63% of games, points per game, 2 compared to 2.06. Tamworth obviously topping the table as well. Taking a look at the goals then, 1.69 scored per game. They're actually averaging more, Hereford, than Tamworth, but Tamworth have conceded just 11 goals away from home this season. Clean sheet in 50% of games. So these are slightly red flags. Let's take a look at the results and we will see that Tamworth, yeah, I mean, major red flag in terms of BTTS. Maybe we can adjust the filter to eradicate these kind of teams because they have kept a clean sheet in the last 8 games. That is pretty special at any level, especially in the National League. Fair play to Tamworth there. We will not be adding you to our selections for this weekend, maybe for a victory, or maybe for them just to not lose. Let's have a look at the odds. I would imagine that's also not worth it. In fact, they're evens, just above evens with some bookmakers. Pinnacle 2.28. So again, if you've watched these videos, we come across games where double chance or draw no bet is also a decent option. We had it for Barnsley in the previous video and that came in 1-1. So yeah, that could be an option. We'll add that to the slip and potentially add that to our double at the end of the video. But I just want to say again, fair play. 4 clean sheets on the bounce as well away from home for Tamworth. That's not easy to do in the National League. So a 4-0 victory in the reverse fixture, and before that, 2019, so we won't look at that. But yeah, August, 4-0 victory for Tamworth in the reverse fixture. Next up then, Bromley Chesterfield. This is a top-of-the-table clash, although I'll just show you the table first. 81 points for Chesterfield compared to 58 for Bromley. So it is a top of the table clash, but I think we all expect Chesterfield to go up this season. Bromley are second, but this table inside the fixture is ranked by average points per game, and because Barnet have played 1 game less than Bromley, that's why they're second in this table. So we can just look at that Chesterfield form. They drew the last game. BTTS has landed in the last 3. They are formidable though, aren't they? Just 1 defeat since November and just 3 defeats all season. And for Bromley, their form has actually dipped, hasn't it? They've not won a game in 5. 3 draws in there and 2 defeats in the last 2. A defeat to Fylde as well, and then a defeat to Hartlepool, 13th and 22nd respectively. We'll take a look at the probability model for this one, and it is giving us a 58.73% chance of BTTS. Let's run a fixture simulation. 3-2 to Chesterfield. Well, that'd be a nice result, wouldn't it? And we can see the most common score lines from this simulation: 2-3, 3-2, 1-2, 1-1, and 2-1. So the probability model and its simulations certainly fancying BTTS, and 1.7 is what you will get back in terms of the OddAlerts Predictions League. And whilst we're here, let's take a look at the rankings for this week. We've got Joe Kim with 50.13 points so far. He's made all of his 28 predictions. Hades, it's the Greek god, is it, because of the fire? 35 points. Can he or she pip Joe Kim with the 7 predictions that they have left? And just to show you the last couple of weeks as well, to see how close it can be sometimes, look at this from a couple of weeks ago: 49, 47, 43. Well done to all these winners. Well done as well last week to Rustam. He is like the Man City of the Predictions League at the moment, always smashing it. And I think he's maybe got about 70 or 80 quid in credit from all the game weeks that he's won over the last sort of 12 to 18 months. So we'll take a look at this Scottish game, also 3 p.m. Elgin City against Stenhousemuir, top of the table, Stenhousemuir, and I don't know why I'm saying it like that. They're 6th in the table, 1.92 points per game at home though, goal difference of just 3, but they are averaging more shots than Stenhousemuir at home compared to their away form. So we'll take a look at the results first, just to see what kind of form they're in. Not many draws when this team plays. In fact, just 1 draw, 2 draws, 3 draws as I scroll down, but they were all at the start of the season. The home form is good. They've scored in the majority of games. They've failed to score in just 3 of their games this season. A clean sheet in the previous fixture, but it was the first in 6 games, is that? So Stenhousemuir come into this having seen BTTS landing in the last couple of away games, no victories in those games, but just 1 defeat all season, and that was to the team that is 2nd in League 2 in Scotland. So again, you would not bet against this away team. They failed to score in their first away game, which again was at Peterhead. And apart from that, they have scored in every single away game. The head-to-head looks like this: Stenhousemuir 2-0 at their home ground. The last couple of home games for Elgin City have both ended 1-1, so BTTS landing 2-1 there in 2022, 3-1 in 2022. I'm just looking at the home games here, and then a 2-0 victory. So these teams have played each other quite a lot over the last few years. Noticing a few red cards in these games as well, to be fair. So in terms of the probability model, it is 2.05, so it's given us quite a generous points return for this one. I'll add that to my predictions, and we will take a look at the model and see that it is 48.88. Now let's take a look at the actual odds for BTTS at this moment in time. 1.91 with Bet365. Despite being quite a high points return, Bet365 and other bookmakers actually giving it a better chance of BTTS with slightly lower odds. We'll add this to the slip, and then we will move on to Sunday, and then we will have a look at all of the selections that we've added so far and get it down to a double. So just a couple of games for Sunday with this filter, and one is Sunday morning, 1 a.m. So you could, that's probably Saturday for some people watching this video. And it is Pachuca against America. Let's take a look at the games for these two teams. So unbeaten. We've had a few unbeaten teams, haven't we? America unbeaten away from home. First of all, let's take a look at the results. And, well, that home form is quite nice, isn't it, from Pachuca? They are conceding and scoring at some rate. So 3-2, 3-2, 3-2, 4-3, 3-1. That is very good. I'm just going to go to the odds straight away because I do think that over 2.5 goals. Let's have a look at BTTS first. 1.65. Just based on the recent form, I should look at the away team, and I will do before I add this to any slip. Over 2.5 goals is 1.75. Well, this is making me certainly intrigued about the away team and their defensive capabilities. They've conceded just 8. There we go. Clean sheet in 57% of games, so they're certainly taking that into account, as they should. And we can see there, away from home, again, 1, 2, 3, 4 clean sheets in a row. They are really, really good, this away team. They are unbeaten, as we saw, away from home. Let's have a look at the head-to-head, though. 4-0 victory for America in the previous game. 3-0 victory for Pachuca in the game before that. And a 3-0 victory before that. So, and a 3-0 victory before that as well in 2022. So 3-0, 3-0, 3-0, and 4-0 in the last 4 head-to-head meetings. So maybe goals is the play here, just in case this game does follow suit in terms of the recent results. You certainly wouldn't back Pachuca to get a clean sheet in this game. Now on to the other game from Sunday, and this is giving us a 52.7% chance of BTTS, so implied odds of 1.9. So keep that in mind, because we'll take a look at the results, and we can see here we've got another unbeaten away team, and we've got a very strong home team as well. They've won 7 out of 10 and picked up 21 points, 2.1 points per game. So we're getting a decent home team here and a very strong away team. But again, we've got an away team that is quite good at defending. No nil-nils, incidentally, and they've scored in every game, this away team, but they have kept a clean sheet in 50% of games. Now, what I'm going to look at here is, when were those clean sheets? Are they recent, or are they more towards the start of their campaign? So we can see that the previous game was BTTS, but one thing we should notice, so this is their first away game back after the winter break. They returned with a 4-1 victory. That was 2-1 at half-time, that game. And Bravo, great name, at home, this is their first game as well, so they returned with a 3-1 victory, and they were in decent form before the break as well, unbeaten, and BTTS now landing in the last 3 games. But of course, you do have to think about that winter break and just see how teams come back and how they develop. We saw a game before where they were in great form, but then after the winter break, I think it was the Bundesliga under-19s, wasn't it? It's not easy to just get back into the form that you were playing, especially after a winter break. It's much easier for elite players, and this is a top-level game in Slovenia. But, of course, under-19s German football is not quite at the level of a top league in Slovenia. So we'll take a look at the odds for this one. And BTTS, I think I just saw it there on the alerts section. It's about 1.83, yeah. So 1.91 with 188 bet. We'll add this to the selection. And first, let me just take another look at the goals. So the away team have scored in every game. The home team scored in 70% of games. I think the fact that they've both come back and they've both had quite high scoring games in that first game back, it's still this is more of a gamble than because we've only got that one game to go off. We've obviously got the previous form from before the winter break, and that form, as we were talking about the clean sheets, this is a very, very good away team. It's a team, again, that you wouldn't bet against, and I'll have a look at Bet365, maybe see if we can put together a draw no bet and over 1.5 goals again. So let's jump over to Bet365 now. So here we are then, 1.83 for that game from Slovenia. I quite like the Mexican game as well. I know there's a theme with these teams in terms of the clean sheets. I think the Tamworth game as well, their form is superb. So what I'm going to do is going to go with Pachuca and Bravo as a Sunday double, 1.72 and 1.83. That'll be around 3s, 3.10. What I'm going to go with as well is Elgin and the Bet Builder, so 1.7 and 1.9, which will be around 3.2. So the game that misses out is the Bromley game. So these are our doubles, and actually the odds have just changed from 1.9 to 1.83. So the odds have dropped there. So maybe you'll get 1.9 still on another bookmaker. As always, thank you for listening in this case, because this is, you can't see me. You wouldn't want to see me in this state. You can probably hear it in my voice. I'm not 100% fresh, but I still wanted to get this video up and out for you for the weekend. Leave a comment and you'll automatically be entered into a draw to win OddAlerts Pro. If you've enjoyed the video, hit like, subscribe and all that good stuff, and I will see you in the next one.